thing that we probably need to lift off before we discuss some other proper issue is that story, and I'm very sure that you must have been apprised about it, that there was some kind of issue between yourself and Mr. Peter Obi about campaign funding, campaign structure with the party structure. Just in a few seconds, if you touch on that, so that I can go into the next question.
Yeah, it shows you how dangerous a territory we're playing. This thing called fake news has reached a point now. For example, I heard that this thing happened in Agbo, a town that I have not visited in years. You know me very well. You know that one of the last conversations I can have with anybody and dispute around is money. Whenever there is a money issue and people are disputing, I walk away, even if I have billions to lose. I found a company that would become multi-billion naira company. Once I saw unethical behavior, I just walked away. Each time I see those things, I walk away. So to now come and do that over campaign, you know me well enough to know that that's absolute nonsense. No such thing ever happened. We've never even had a conversation around money in any shape, form.
So let's talk about money now, because money is a very big deal when it comes to campaign financing. And because we've heard that the Labour Party has been touting that they don't pay shishi. Shishi in Nigeria means a dime. They're not going to pay anything. That Peter Obi is a man who will not give shishi in that sense. So are you also seeking funds, sourcing finance to for the campaigns of Peter Obi and the Labour Party from the diaspora community?
When the time is right, the diaspora will give money. They have always given money to campaigns. I have run for president, as you know, before. I got support from the diaspora in 2006 or 6 and 7. And then when I ran into 2011, when the time is right, we're going to solicit, obviously, from Nigerians across the board. We're setting up portals where people can give money. You can hear the excitement, look at the shouting of these young people. From downstairs, I'm actually like 2 floors up from where they are. We can hear the excitement. It is those young people down there that are screaming, who will give from their allowances, what they earn working here, $10 every week for the season of the election. But these portals are not up yet. They will be up next week or so. And eventually we're going to be able to access resources from the diaspora for sure. But right now, what we are about is a sensitization tool about what makes democracy work. Right now, Nigeria's democracy is not working because of the transaction costs that are involved, the trade-offs that have to be made, such that eventually when people get to power, they find that what trumps is power and not purpose. They forget the purpose because there are so many deals, IOUs, payoffs to win the election, that in the end, we get the politics of politicians, for politicians, by politicians, and not a democracy that is for the people and by the people.
All right.
That's why Nigeria is where it is today, crippled, lying prostrate before the world, in spite of its enormous potential, because Nigerian politicians are so connected to the deals that they can make for themselves rather than the service of the people in the process.
Prof,
so that's what we're trying to change.
Let me jump in quickly on the issue you mentioned, on the hopes of sourcing funds from abroad. And I'd like to probably bring Section 225 of the Constitution and Section 85, subsection A, B, C, D of the Nigerian Electoral Act 2022 to your notice about the source of funding for campaign and how the law looks at it. Are you worried or are you aware about what the law says and getting funds for party activities and campaign funding outside of Nigeria?
I'm completely aware of what the law says. If we open a portal and say Nigerians who want to support what we stand for should contribute to it, if you say Nigerians abroad can't go to a portal and contribute $1 and those at home, then you take into a point beyond. First of all, you've prevented them from voting. Every other small African country manages to allow diaspora to vote. Ghana, Kenya, everybody. In Nigeria, they can't vote because Nigerian politicians are afraid that because they are more clear-thinking people, if they vote, they would not likely win elections. You've already done that. That has created a class warfare between Nigerians who are excluded from their democracy and those allowed, because currently bad performing politicians are afraid that right-thinking Nigerians abroad will vote. Now you say they can't even give 100 naira to a candidate. Are you clear what you are saying? Do you believe yourself?
Prof, I mean, it is not what I believe, or it is what the law says. It's about what section 225.
I'm just telling you the truth of what you're saying.
Yeah, no, you might have a problem with what the law says, but the law is what the law is.
But I just want to show that Smart ADM is proposing changing the Electoral Act. Maybe that's one of the things they should be changed.
So, but presently, because you have told us tonight that you have plans to source funds from diaspora, and now there is a contravention. So, but are you worried that? So, what the law says, Prof, is that such funds are going to be forfeited. If such funds are found that they are coming from outside of Nigeria, they are going to be forfeited. What ways are you putting up to ensure that you don't run foul of the law?
I am shocked that you, who watched the candidates in the PDP and APC share US dollars in Nigeria and they are not in jail, that you could be saying such.
I'm asking a question, Prof.
Can there be anything more of a travesty than that?
This is not my view, Prof. I'm asking a question based on what the law says. And this is the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not a document that I wrote, Prof. I'm just asking a question that, are you aware of what the law says?
You're the victim of the law. You're a victim. So I won't push it to you. You're the victim of it. Not the of the law. What we're saying is that we're going to have a portal, and every Nigerian can go in and make their contribution. What can be more democratic than that? If there's a law that opposes that, that law is fundamentally flawed, does not deserve the name of law. Look, let's talk about law.